Welcome everybody, Souldin of the Grin brothers here, and it's time for another episode of Tea Time. Now, for today's tea, it's actually a bit of an interesting tale, as it were. Sort of interesting. I find it interesting. When I was preparing for this tea time, kind of short, no, I can't think of the right term. Off the top of my head, I was basically thinking, I'm going to do a tea time now. When trying to prepare for it in my rushed moment, I thought to myself, oh wait, I don't have any new teas. I realised maybe I should have some of my older teas. I mean, I have yet to be able to get some of my tea leaf teas, such like my mumbai chai and such. Right, I want to get it perfect during recording, and so it tastes absolutely wonderful. But then I remembered, I do have a new tea, but it isn't one I actually purchased. You see, I'm back at the moment working with my dad as a casual labourer. And on the place I was working on, it was a school. And not all the kids actually cleared out all their stuff. And all the stuff that was remaining was going to be binned anyway, because the kids had plenty of time to clear it out. One of the things that was left over was actually some tea bags. It's some puka tea bags, and I checked, and these ones are in date. Admittedly, they were abandoned, so it's a little bit worrying, but in any case, today's tea is going to be Puka, from Puka, Supreme Matcha Green Tea with milk. Because it's the first time I'm having this tea, and because I found it in a building then some kid had abandoned this tea, so I am quite worried. I may not survive this. The milk should hopefully alleviate with me, except for the fact that this milk was running out of date by the time I was using it. It goes out of date tomorrow. Hooray. In any case, I guess I'll read a bit of a description. Even superheroes need a boost. Sometimes our superpowers can run low. Welcome in pure emerald matcha powder, our magical super ingredient blended with the goodness of fairly traded whole leaf greens, Chinese sencha, Indian ufu, and Vietnamese sui gang. Shazam! Oh my gosh, that is actually really cool. It has that. Shazam! Superpowers recharged. Welcome to a magical new world. Well, I'm pleased from the description of this. Hopefully it's as good as they use Shazam with it. Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Just from the description alone, it's become one of my favourite teas. Let's hope it tastes as good as this description is. Huh, why is it spiking there? Not sure. Could be the chinchillas, could be something else. Could be the rattling of the box. Let's see. Nope, not the rattling of the box. I'm always just looking at the sound recordings, and I see how the sound waves rise and fluctuate, and it got really high pitched a couple of points. But I'll make sure to check that through when I edit this. In any case, for today's tea time, this is a bit of a off the top of my head sort of tea time, because there's really only one reason I've decided to do this tea time. On the day that this tea time will be uploaded, I hope to upload it specifically on October the 27th or the 28th. I'm pretty sure it's the 27th though. And that is the day when Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 releases, a game I've pre-ordered and I plan to get. Admittedly, I plan to start playing it on October the 28th because that's when I will actually be able to go out and get it. I'm at work on the Thursday that it's coming out. But I realised, I don't have anyone really to play it with. And it's a rather online-focused game, so I figured, hey, maybe I should shout out my gamertag to people, which, funny enough, is Souldin. So anyone who happens to have an Xbox One and is getting Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and wants someone to play with, I'm available. Just Souldin as my gamertag, and I'll be glad to play with you on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 when it comes out on the 27th. Well, except for the fact that I won't be available to play on the 27th. From the 28th, I'll be available to play it. Yeah, and that's actually pretty much the entire reason I made this tea time, just to say that. But that would be rather shameless of me to just make a tea time on the basis of giving out a friend request, as it were, for everyone. So, hey, come play with me on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I'll be playing it the day after launch. So instead I thought, well, why don't I make a tea time about discussing Dragon Ball? At least Dragon Ball in regards to video games, because the Grin brothers always focus on video games regardless of the topic. I mean, I once came up with a topic for Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, and it was specifically Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm. Today's topic is just going to be about Dragon Ball video games. I guess kind of what I've played, what I've liked, and why hyped for Dragon Ball video games. Maybe even specifically Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I haven't actually come into this tea time with any plan, so it's a lot like the original tea times I did. Like the first of 10 or 20 tea times, I had barely any plan going in. I just kind of spoke my mind, you know. I thought things and they immediately came out. No processing. So, Dragon Ball video games, and title here by now. I'm not sure what it is. I'll come up with it during editing. So, yay. Maybe on a day at work I'll come up with it. So, my very first Dragon Ball related video game I ended up playing was, unfortunately, Dragon Ball GT Final Bout, I believe it's called. Let me actually go check. I think it's, let's see. Hope you can still hear me. It doesn't even have the GT Monkey on the cover of it. Yeah, I found all the PlayStation games, every single one of them. It's just called Dragon Ball Final Bout, but it was based off Dragon Ball GT because there was GT Kid Goku and Pan in the game, and that was really confusing because Dragon Ball GT hadn't even aired at that point. I wasn't even familiar with the Buu Saga at that point, so when Gohan appeared, I thought, oh, Yamcha's playable. He seems fairly strong, particularly strong. Why Yamcha specifically? But no, that was Gohan. It's funny, Gohan's haircuts do look similar to Yamcha's throughout Yamcha's life. Really weird thing that. Yeah, that was the first Dragon Ball video game I've played, and it's not a very good one, admittedly, but it's better than the other Dragon Ball video game that I was playing at the time, which was the 2D one with sprites, Dragon Ball Ultimate Battle 22. Yeah, that one was atrocious. Dragon Ball Final Battle at least has some charm to it, I feel. That paper one, not very good, particularly with Kiris, my oldest brother. He played as Hercule and just spammed the missiles, and we all hated him. He was despised in the family because that also came the tradition of him playing as Hercule. Dragon Ball Budokai came out, he played as Hercule. He beat us all to death with Dynamite Kick and Rolling Punch. Yes, he thrashed us as Hercule. Even without the missiles, he still thrashed us as Hercule. It wasn't until Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 2 where they made Hercule absolutely terrible. From that point onwards, we can actually beat him when he plays as Hercule because there's no way he can really win as Hercule. But yeah, like, the first few Dragon Ball games I ended up playing weren't very good ones. It wasn't until Dragon Ball Z Budokai I feel that they got, you know, at least decent. I feel Dragon Ball Z Budokai hasn't aged that well. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 fared a bit better. And, okay, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 is just absolutely glorious. Even to this day, it's still pretty amazing. As some of you may know from watching some of my previous tea times and hearing some of my previous discussions, when it comes to my favourite video games, amongst my top 12, Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure is one of my favourite video games of all time. And that was, of course, a Dragon Ball game I've played. I absolutely loved Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure, and it's the best Dragon Ball game I've played, including the Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super Kai, all those sort of sub-genres of Dragon Ball, I guess. Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure is just an absolutely glorious game. A beat-em-up packed with characters, and oh my gosh, there's so much content to it, and variety in its levels. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. If any Dragon Ball game I'd recommend to you, it's that one. It also ranks as my favourite Game Boy Advance game. So yeah, there's lots of praise I can heap onto Dragon Ball Advance Adventure. And along with, you know, I think it was around that time that I started reading, sort of actually purchasing the manga of the original Dragon Ball. I haven't purchased any of Dragon Ball Z or any of that, but I have purchased all of the Dragon Ball, copies of the Dragon Ball manga. And it's kind of where I fell in love with the original Dragon Ball. I prefer it over Dragon Ball Z. You know, I just feel it's all better done and presented. You know, the comedy's better and the storylines work a lot better. It can centre a bit too much on Goku, but then I do feel it does use its supporting cast, you know, who are non-Saiyans at this point, more than Dragon Ball Z does, and I just feel they're better in a sense. I just generally prefer Dragon Ball and feel it's a much better sort of series to its later successor of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, but funny enough, I realised when thinking about Dragon Ball video games, and something that in turn is I would absolutely love to see in future, there has been no Dragon Ball fighting game. Despite its more serious and proper martial arts that Dragon Ball series had over Dragon Ball Z, where most of the martial arts became, let me shoot this giant energy beam, Dragon Dragon Ball hasn't had a fight game. It's always just been a side mechanic. Most of its games are top-down or 2D scrolling beat-em-ups. There are some Dragon Ball games there's plenty of Dragon Ball games I've missed out on, which I really wish I could actually go back and play. Dragon Ball Origins and DS, in retrospect, I really wish I kind of got. Sure, it plays like Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass, the Legend of Zelda games, where you control the character with the stylus, but they actually work fairly well. I mean, the main problem with Phantom Hourglass is the Phantom Dungeon, which is still the worst Zelda dungeon in all of existence. Like, why? But I kind of wish I had actually played the Dragon Ball Origins games. I've really missed out on not getting them, particularly how much I love the original Dragon Ball. But yeah, all the Dragon Ball games, they're all beat-em-ups or top-down shooters, or top-down beat-em-ups and action-adventure. None of them are fighting games. And I feel it's a shame, because I feel a really good fighting game could be made with, focusing on Dragon Ball. I once spent the day thinking, let's put down, say, 49 characters. That'd make a good, decent roster without being too overwhelmingly big. It's like, that could work. Which is funny enough, they actually did make a more serious martial arts focused Dragon Ball Z game. I think it was called Super Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball Super, before Dragon Ball Super existed. Chi-Chi is a playable character, and it allowed you to swap any of the characters' special moves with one another. I think it was created by Street Fighter developers. Yeah, I've heard good things about it, but it was a lot harder to get into than Dragon Ball Z Budokai games. I kind of want to make this a short one, so in my opinion, the best Dragon Ball Z games made outside of the original Dragon Ball, as such, Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. The best Dragon Ball Z fighting games, though, are easily the Budokai Tenkaichi 2 and 3. I'd say 3 is better in terms of the gameplay department, though I think 2 has better stuff involved in the story mode. And I feel that Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2 should get a lot of... Budokai Tenkaichi 2... should get a lot of credit for establishing just about everything that Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 goes on to then improve in every way. Except for the single player campaign is a lot short. But Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 admittedly did have some really cool ideas. I kind of feel like, it's missed out that this world never has received a Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4, because that would have been fantastic. And it's kind of funny how the best Dragon Ball Z games came out on the Nintendo Wii. Yeah, absolutely amazing fighting, and they came out on the Wii of all systems. When they moved to stuff like Dragon Ball Raging Blast and such, I never felt the connection. Like, I've played demos of it. When I do combos, they didn't connect with me. I couldn't really feel it. Like, everything felt off about it. Like, it's hard to describe, but nothing felt right when I was pressing the buttons. And for a while, I was kind of put off of Dragon Ball Z games. I mean, until then, I hadn't played any more Dragon Ball Z games, which I do regret, because I missed out on Dragon Ball Origins and Dragon Ball Kai Rise of the Saiyans or something? Arrival of the Saiyans? I can't remember the name specifically. But like some really amazing sort of Dragon Ball Z games were released, and I ended up missing out on them. I only got back into playing Dragon Ball Z games with Dragon Ball Xenoverse. And I regret playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse in every way, because it is an absolutely terrible game. But I got it for one specific reason. When they announced that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 would have a feature where your time patrol for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 would appear in it. So I got it for that reason alone. I am really hoping that Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is a significant improvement over Dragon Ball Xenoverse, just to make up for the fact that I've purchased 2 games. Technically. All the purpose of playing a single game and hoping that single game is good, because I purchased a terrible game that I knew was terrible. On the basis that I'm hoping the sequel was better. Which is possibly a mistake I've made. But aside from hoping Dragon Ball Z returns to the sort of good form of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and hoping that there is more Dragon Ball focused games made, such as a Dragon Ball fighting game, I guess that's kind of really all I need to say. I'm really hoping Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is good. There's a lot of things I've seen that look very, positive and uplifting in that regard. I'm optimistic about Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and I hope that any of you who do decide to join me on the 28th, I believe, can have a fun time as well, playing with me, or just playing by yourselves if you don't wish to play with me. I'm okay. I can be lonely. In any case, time to try out this tea. Oh my gosh, that is bitter. Oh gosh, that is bitter. I should have added more milk into that. Oh gosh, that is a surprising tea. Tastes quite nice when you leave it on your tongue for a bit, but whoa, bitter. Supreme Matcha Green, you are a very bitter tea. Wow. Earl Grey's got nothing on that. Strange to have a green tea so strong. Wow. It's a good thing I don't have to keep it specifically 50 minutes. But yeah, that's Supreme Matcha Green. Superpower, yeah, I can definitely see that point. I definitely recommend it with milk. I'm going to try it later without milk, but definite suggestion of having it with milk for the first time. That has such a strong kick. Oh, gosh. Yeah, no, I wasn't imagining that. That is such a strong kick. Wow. Shazam! Yeah, definitely Shazam. I imagine this is what Billy Batson tastes when he transforms. Yes. Words are coming out of my mouth and they supposedly mean something. So yeah, that's my opinions of like Dragon Ball video games. Just a quick sort of opinion piece, and I guess, and my thoughts and wishes for the future of Dragon Ball games. Basically, can I have a Dragon Ball game, fighting game, with a decent sized roster and all? That would be really nice, and not like Dragon Ball Xenoverse or such in terms. I mean, more like I don't know, like the Dragon Ball Z Budokai or the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi series. That'd be nice. But yeah. So kind of just going over my same points. Again, going to be playing Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on launch. Well, not on launch, the day after launch. If you wish to see me on the game, my gamer tag will be Souldin, and the character that I'll be creating will be a human female based off my avatar, Nanka. Maybe zoom in on the avatar. You see it all the time in my in the Tea Time videos anyway. So, in case I see you then, or if not, hope you enjoyed this video, and cheerio everyone!